Don't get me wrong, slaying zombies is a lot of fun, but after a while it starts to get a bit lonely. This is They Come in Waves, an endless, wave-based zombie survival indie game inspired by Call of Duty Zombies, The Last of Us, The Walking Dead, I Am Legend, and every other zombie-based piece of content you can think of. It is currently available to wishlist on Steam, and I am hard at work on a demo that will hopefully be available to play soon, so keep an eye out. AI companions are not a foreign concept in games, and if done correctly, they can really add to the overall experience and narrative of the game.
That thing.
Get rid of that.
Hold your horses. I want to see what all the fuss is about. Oh, why are these all stuck together?
I spent some time looking through the assets I already had in my library and found this low poly wolf asset that I think I bought in support of Ukraine last year sometime. This was perfect because alongside a bunch of models and textures, it already had root motion animations, which is exactly what I needed. If you aren't aware, root motion is an animation technique whereby the character's movement is controlled directly by the animation as opposed to controlling it via code. This way you can avoid the character looking like they're sliding along the ground when moving or attacking. Quick side note, 93% of people aren't subbed, so please help. Another cool thing about this pack is that it has a cub and an adult wolf, which fits into the idea I originally had for this, which is that when you befriend your companion, he will start out as a cub, a bit weak and vulnerable, and you will need to protect him. After a few rounds of slaying zombies though, he will grow up into a strong and scary adult wolf that will always have your back. Now that the model and animations were all ready to go, I set the wolf cub up using the ultimate character controller. Then I configured an animation controller for the cub, which uses a blend tree. A blend tree is what we use when we want to blend between different animation states. For example, when the cub goes from its idle to its walk animation, the blend tree will blend between these two animations based on how fast the character is moving forward. The last animation I wanted to set up for now was an attack animation. With all of that set up, I was able to walk around controlling the wolf cub and start the attack ability. I just needed to turn this into an AI character real quick. Well, it actually was a lot quicker than I expected. I slapped a behavior tree, which is just a set of instructions that we can give to our characters, onto the wolf cub and made him follow the player around. When you get a certain distance away, the cub starts to run after you, but if you get too far away, the cub gets lost and starts to aimlessly wander around. Once he starts to wander around, you'll need to get close to him again for him to start following you. Thought this might be a cool little mechanic to make you really feel like you need to look after this little guy. Now, once the zombies start to appear, the cub will change its target from you to the zombie, provided the zombie is within a close enough range to you. When it is, the cub will chase the closest zombie down and attack it. Right now, his aim is a little off, but I will polish the entire mechanic in time. With the wolf cub done, I quickly slapped together the animator for the adult wolf and used the model manager that comes with the ultimate character controller to add a second model to the wolf NPC. That took just a couple of minutes and I was all set with the adult wolf character. Right now, the adult wolf just follows the same logic as the cub, but again, I'll refine this in time. I slapped together a quick ability that lets the player switch between the cub and the adult just so that I could spend some time testing them out. Now that the wolf exists in the game and follows you around like an annoying little redhead girl, I started to think about how you would go about coming across this wolf in the world I've created. This got me to start working on something I've known I needed to do for a long time but just keep putting off: quests. A little before the Unity debacle, I invested in the dialogue system for Unity, and I figured this was the perfect opportunity to make use of it. I brought in a character to act as our first NPC. We shall call him Chad. Can be found in this pet shop, and he has a cage with our little wolf trapped inside. When you speak to Chad, he sends you on a quest to find him a fresh sandwich. Once you find his fresh sandwich and he devours it, he provides you with the key to open the cage, and from there you are finally united with your wolf cub. Now, I don't actually want this to be the quest, but it was a good exercise in understanding the dialogue system and how quests work. I even had to learn some of a fun programming language called Lua, which I really enjoyed. Creating quests using this system had a little bit of a learning curve, but I was able to get the basics down in a few hours, and now creating conversations and outcomes is as simple as adding an ability to NPCs that allows them to be interacted with and start conversations with. What can actually be said in the conversation is determined by these conversation flows. They define what each character can say, what the state of the quest is currently in, like active or not, and they also define the outcome of each conversation. There is a nice integration with the ultimate character controller, so I can easily interact with the player's inventory to figure out if they have completed item collection tasks by inspecting their current inventory. I can also update the player's inventory with new items when they successfully complete a task. The dialogue system is a great addition, and I think it opens up a lot more room for content that I can add to the game. I've gotten some really great feedback over the past couple of weeks from members in my Discord server and from comments in my devlog videos. Some of the suggestions I've gotten that I think are pretty cool include having different quests that you can go on as the levels progress, the rewards for them being different parts or plans to craft better weapons to help you in the latter rounds of the game. Another cool suggestion I've received on Discord is to add a leveling system, so each time you play the game you earn experience and potentially level up. Leveling up makes different perks and weapon upgrades available as you progress through the game. This is another great point of content and replayability that can be added to the game, so I need to plan for it and spend some time implementing it once public demo 1 has been released. With the dialogue system implemented, the workflow for how to befriend a companion was completed. I did make some small adjustments elsewhere to the game, like fixing the fonts that a lot of people said were pretty gross, and I completely agree. I expanded the map out to where it will probably end for the early access release anyway, and added this hospital area, which I think will be a cool place to introduce more NPCs who give you tasks and maybe even my first mini boss battle. All in all, it's been a pretty productive 2 weeks, and I'm quite happy with the rate at which the game is progressing. Right now, my biggest concern is where I'm going to find good sound effects for a wolf, so if you know of someone that can help me out with that, please do let me know. Until then though, I'll catch you on the next one.